in our President's speech, it says that the government is trying to take along all these people, an inclusive and all-encompassing approach based on the principle enshrined in the Constitution. But the fact of the matter is, this government and their ideological moorings clearly does not believe in inclusive politics. I say this for one reason, not only for what has happened vis-à-vis with the Manipur crisis and the manner in which the government of India have responded, but also generally the manner in which they have tinkered the constitutional principles and the manner in which they have imagined this nation to be. Their attitude and response to Manipur is nothing but a specific form of reflection of their general conception of what this nation is all about. Then we start with a particular tinkering that this government has done, which we don't see. Babasaheb Ambedkar said, we have this document now, but how we inject flesh and blood to the soul to this document is what matters through our practice. What has been happening since the last 10 years? Like all liberal constitutions, we have this beautiful phrase in our preamble called "We the People." And this "we the people" is, like all liberal constitutions, conceptualize the population, the nation as a stratified population. But this government is pushing for a kind of an imagination of a nation which is cultural and organic in nature. When the Prime Minister took over in 2014, he has said on many occasions across many platforms in the West, in UK, UAE, Netherlands, or in various meetings in this country, he invoked a very familiar phrase that we have seen in the Nazi Germany's in 1920s and 1930s, Blut und Boden, blood and the soil. He said in his speech in Wembley, as well as in Netherlands or UAE or in my part of the world in Silchar, he says whether one should be giving emphasis on the color of the passport or the color of the blood or in our relation to the soil. These invocations of the blood and the soil is what the Nazis have shouted in the 1920s and 1930s. It is these conceptions of the people of this country leads to various exclusions. So there's no surprise that today we have a party which swear by nationalist ethos, and you have none of the members from the Muslim communities, which constitute 15% of the population. That is the reflection of that imagination of the nation. It is a similar kind of an exclusion that you have continued through your response to the crisis in Manipur. Allow me to cite 4 specific issues that tells you that the crisis in Manipur is not an isolated issue. Gravity is such that it is a national crisis. Allow me to explain on 4 specific ways. Under the Indian Constitution, we have a state government and assembly, which has been reduced to a farce. We had the shortest assembly session in 2023 in August, which barely lasted less than half an hour. Instead of discussing on the crisis, the assembly was cut short. The government of Manipur openly claims that its power has been stripped by the union government. We don't know who is in charge of the state of Manipur. The leaders of the government in the state says that the police did not report to the Honorable CM and the Home Minister, to whom they are reporting then. And the appointment of the big officials of law and order, such as the chairman of the Unified Command, which takes care of the security and law and order situation, coordinate various security agencies, has been removed and planted some ex-bureaucrat by the center. And the CM says, for instance, that some part of Manipur is under my command and some part of the state is under the Union Home Minister. Can you imagine the Chief Minister of Maharashtra saying, Mumbai is under my control and the rest of Maharashtra is under the Union government? That is an illegal subversion of the constitutional mechanism and democracy in this country in the 75 years of our experience. That is the subversions that we have experienced. We don't realize this. The Chief Minister ordered something. The Central Security Forces refused to obey the order. And there are images where the Central Armed Forces stopped the Manipur police from responding to armed attacks on innocent villagers. This complete chaos is what we witness in the 75th year of the constitutions, on which we have given lectures and bhashans in this house as well. It is a reality that is happening in Manipur, but who cares? You have sent in 60,000 plus troops, and under whose command those are working? If Article 355 or 365 has been invoked, where is the written documents? There's nothing of that kind. So it is an extra-constitutional subversion of the constitution of the country in a state called Manipur. Indian state has become nothing but a banana republic in the state of Manipur. Madam Chairperson, have you ever seen elected members being beaten up publicly in this country, and the country thinks that constitutional order is in order in Manipur? The dignity of the elected members, the authority of the assembly, everything has been subverted by this union government in collusion with their satraps who are running the show on their behalf in Imphal. Please keep in mind this is a complete subversion of a constitutional order on the 75th year of constitution. For Manipur, incidentally, this is not the first time. When the constitution was adopted 75 years ago, we had an assembly of our own and a constitutional monarchy, which was bulldozed on the 15th of October 1949. That insult should have been bygone be the bygone, and we should be looking forward. But this manner in which the crisis has been handled, and contemptuous manner in which this has not been talked about, even in our Honorable President's speech, is making you to remember that humiliation once more as we are trying to look forward. This is the most saddening and unfortunate part as we celebrate the Constitution's 75th year. Second example, when Baba Sahib Ambedkar was asked, which article in this Constitution you think is the most important one? He points out Article 32 and said this is the soul and the heart of the Constitution. In Manipur, you have a man. Please, madam, I have seen people getting more time. Please allow me to finish at least. Give me 2-3 more minutes. Article 32, habeas corpus, is one of the legal rights that the citizens have. But in the most secure place in Manipur called the Red Seal Divisions, the 57 Mountain Division, an army garrison, a civilian by the name Kamal Babu, Laishram Kamal Babu, disappeared without a trace. Since November, the defense minister kept quiet, the army chief kept quiet. How secure is the people of Manipur, even when you are not secure in the military garrisons? The biggest army headquarters in the state of Manipur, the 57 Mountain Division. Who will answer this? I'm elected by my people, and I'm supposed to voice in this house as a part of a democratic culture, as a part of a constitutional scheme of things. Now, how do I speak? People have been killed, children, women have been assaulted, but we have seen hostage taking. Women and children were not only been taken hostage, they were killed in cold-blooded in the most gruesome manner in Jiribam, including an 8-month-old infant. It's a post-mortem report. It's a chilling reminder. There have been people killed in gruesome manners throughout this 21-month-old crisis, but never has this kind of a hostage taking and killing has happened. Now look at this. I am, as an MP, cannot go to some part of Manipur. Where is Article 90 free movement? People are not able to go. The Chief Minister himself cannot go to certain places. Some MLAs belonging to tribal groups cannot come and attend the assemblies. And we think Article 19 is working in the state of Manipur, and we are celebrating 75th year of the Constitution. Where is Article 19? Madam Chairperson, there are still thousands and thousands of people are linguists in relief camps. Partition is a living reality in the state of Manipur, and we think the constitutional order is intact in the state of Manipur. Third point, very unfortunately, I have been hearing our ministers and leaders saying that Kukis and Meiteis should talk to each other. Have you ever heard when the communal violence happens, Hindus and Muslims should talk to each other? It is the absorbing of the responsibility of the state. First, you should rein in the violence. The authority of the Indian state has been challenged by armed groups. Many of them have been propped up by the Indian security agencies, as many observers have pointed out. Many of these Kuki armed groups under the SU, they have been propped up by Indian security forces, and unfortunately on media you see BJP entering into an understanding with them for them to get help to win elections. Now they are playing havoc. They are running wild. Similarly, in the valley areas, there are armed groups which is reportedly nurtured by political leadership from your party. And this is where you wanted to keep silent. You don't want the rest of the country to know about this. And insist as if, like the Britishers had done, Hindus and Muslim conflict in India is a product of a colonial process. It is not inherent in our country. That's many scholars have written. You do not essentialize this conflict. This is a part of a colonial state process. Unfortunately, while still talking about decolonizations and trying to change a law created by the British, we are talking like the Britishers, saying that this is an essential conflict between the Hindu, just like the Britishers have done, as if the Kukis and the Meiteis have an essentialized conflict. It is a product of a state process. We need to decolonize our mind. Lastly, but not the least, Madam Chairperson, we talk about Viksit Bharat and progress and development. I must inform the House that the highest inflation rate in the country today is the state of Manipur. All the small-scale, medium, micro entrepreneurs have shut down. We're losing investment. People are losing jobs. And the unemployment rate, Manipur is among the top 5 in this country. We talk about the eastern state. Many of the eastern states, including Andaman, is in the list of the top 10 most unemployed people in this country. You are not talking about this economic development, this crisis. There is no relief, tax or otherwise. You are trying to push it under the carpet as if nothing has happened. Despite all this thing, Madam Chairperson, you know what happened. People are not able to travel because of this communal violence. And the flight fare is soaring to the sky. It is looting the tragedy-stricken people. A flight fare from Delhi to Kolkata is around 6,000, which is 2.5 hours journey. But the flight from Imphal to Kolkata is around 14,000, double the amount which has been going on for the last 20 months. Government of India is not interested in that. So what has been happening, you think that we are talking about Manipur as if it is an exception. I want to end with this remark. The Danish philosophers have reminded us. Soren Kierkegaard once said, if you want to understand the general, pick up an exceptional, true exceptions, because the exception will explain the general as well as the exception itself. If you want to understand what this country and how it is imagined, how this constitution is working, and how it is being lied to the rest of the country, take Manipur as an exceptional case. The moment we are honest about it, you will be able to answer. We think that alienation of the Northeast people will be okay, but you check it how the youths are asking the relationship between India and Manipur because of this crisis. It is a danger written on the wall, and I draw the attention of all our members cutting across party lines. Please respond. We need a JPC to inquire into this crisis and do justice to the people of the state of Manipur. Thank you, Madam Chairperson.
Madam, thank you for giving me an opportunity to extend my thanks to the President of India for her addresses. It was indeed a pleasure to listen to her speech. Madam, Honorable President spoke at length the collective achievements in the government in the last 1 decade and given a roadmap of what is going to do in the coming years. I, on behalf of my party, under the leadership of Sri Pawan Kalyan Garu, I strongly believe that Honorable President's speech is a visionary blueprint of the country's path towards building a Vikasit Bharat. Honorable President has highlighted various initiatives, programs and schemes of the government. This government is committed to give a housing for all particularly poor and economically weaker section of the society with 5 lakh crore plus budget for the schemes. Madam, it is one of the great initiatives taken by the NDA government and many families have been benefited till date and the NDA government will continue to do this program. Financial assistance to our entrepreneurs through Mudra schemes have been increased to 20 lakhs from 10 lakhs. As we all know, with the rising population, unemployment is becoming one big concern in the country. With such schemes, more and more youth is becoming self-sufficient. Madam, I only focus 2 issues. One is interlinking of rivers. Firstly, I would like to speak regarding Godavari Banakacharla interlinking of river project. In para 19 of the address, President has mentioned about the importance of interlinking of rivers. As we all know, water is a big concern in every state, particularly drinking water and irrigation water. There is a drought situation in many states during this summer. This has to be taken up very seriously and immediately, Madam. And Honorable President has rightly mentioned, it is her speech. I come from Andhra Pradesh and we have understood its importance. One such interlinking project in AP also needed to be taken up. This would provide irrigation to new ICAT of 3 lakh hectares and stabilization of 9.1 lakh hectares of area. Importantly, it will provide drinking water to 80 lakh people of Uttarandhra and Rayalaseema districts and 20 TMC water for industrial use. Madam, this project links Godavari, Krishna rivers and gives immense benefits. This interlinking is needed because Krishna river doesn't have a reliable inflows due to excessive use by the upstream states and full utilization by the Krishna basin states. And Godavari has a reliable inflow and it's very unfortunate that nearly around 3,000 TMC water, average water flows go to sea every year. It means 3,000 TMC of water is going to waste, which is unacceptable. So, to address this irrigation and drinking water needs to be whole state. The Andhra Pradesh, Krishna Delta, Uttarandhra and Rayalaseema. Government of Andhra Pradesh has proposed to divert Godavari flood water of 200 TMC at 2 TMC per day from Polavaram to Banakacharla regulator to every overcome drought in the state. The project proposed 3 phases. One, Godavari river to Krishna river. Second is from Krishna river to Bollapalli reservoir. And third one, Bollapalli to Banakacharla regulator. So the cost of the project estimate is around 80,000 crores, Madam. AP has successfully linked Vamsadhara and Nagavali rivers, and now there is a need to take up the Godavari Banakacharla link project. CM AP, Sri Chandrababu Naidu and Deputy CM Pawan Kalyan Garu discussed about this project to concerned minister in government of Andhra Pradesh. So I appeal to the Honorable PM and FM to approve this project and provide the required funds in grant to the completion of this project makes AP drought-proof state in the country. Madam, secondly, regarding more often cyclones in Andhra Pradesh. Madam, my entire Machilipatnam Lok Sabha constituency, Krishna districts prone to floods and cyclone have become the order of the day. I still remember the 1977 super cyclone hit Divsima and other area. Thousands of people lost their lives and also lost their properties. Now I am requesting Honorable Prime Minister to construct a cyclone shelter where were set up in the Machilipatnam and Divsima areas also. So these cyclone shelters have now totally damaged at presently whatever it is there, cyclone shelter, it is damaged. Now I am requesting you, Prime Minister, to construct the at least shelters for the people. So I appeal to the Honorable PM, who is also the chairman of the NDMA, to see the new cyclone shelters are constructed in the Machilipatnam and Divsima areas. It will helpful for the people. So finally, I submit to our leader, Sri Pawan Kalyan Garu, and every Karyakarta of my Janasena party and NDA mantra, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas. We will create a Vikasit Bharat. Thank you, Madam.
माननीय सदस्य श्रीमती मालविका देवी जी। नमस्कार मैम। Namaskar ma'am. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to give my motion of thanks on the President's speech. Today I would like to begin my speech by saying that I come from Orissa, from where our President, Honorable President ma'am comes. वो उड़ीसा की लड़की हैं, ट्राइबल कम्युनिटी की लड़की हैं, भारत की लड़की हैं. And I just feel one thing, that whenever we say something against anybody, it is not only you raising a finger on a person, a lady. You are actually questioning 140 crore Indians, which is not right. Because she has come and really worked hard and has reached a position which is the highest position in the country. We should be respecting her for that, looking up to her for that. She has come from adverse situations and shown the world where she is today. She is respected all over the world. It's sad that people in our own country, in our own parliament, are not showing the same respect that the world shows her today. I would also like to say that the enthusiasm with which she started her speech is the same enthusiasm with which she ended the speech, speaking for 1 hour. For 1 hour, our Honorable President spoke about all the development works that happened in 10 years after 2014. अगर ये सब काम 2014 के पहले हुए होते तो उनकी स्पीचेस में आता, पर हुआ ही नहीं था कुछ काम. तो 2014 के बाद जितने काम हुए उनको बार बार रिपीट करना जरूरी है. नंबर्स बदल रहे हैं, पर अगर कोई गौर से सुने तभी पता चले कि नंबर्स बदल रहे हैं, नंबर्स बढ़ रहे हैं, जीडीपी बढ़ रहा है, भारत का सब कुछ बढ़ रहा है, पर काश कि सब ये बात समझ पाते और सोच सकते. मोदी जी का जो सपना है विकसित भारत का, मोदी जी's dream of विकसित भारत, which was never a dream for anybody before 2014, is a dream today, and it is a dream which is being fulfilled in every aspect of the world. चाहे हम प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना की बात करें, जहां पे 5,36,000 करोड़ रुपीस have been allocated for this. चाहे हम पीएम किसान सम्मान निधि स्कीम की बात करें, जहां 41,000 करोड़ रुपीस have been given to in the recent months. स्मॉल एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को मुद्रा स्कीम जो 10 लाख था आज 20 लाख बढ़ के हो गया है, पर हम इन सब चीजों पे क्यों नहीं गौर करते. इसलिए हमारे प्रेसिडेंट को जरूरी है कि वो ये सब चीजें बार बार हमें याद दिलाएं कि ये सब काम भारत में हो रहा है, भारत में हो रहा है. प्रधानमंत्री ग्राम सड़क योजना, जहां 70,000 करोड़ रुपीस have been spent to connect 25,000 habitations. This kind of work has never happened before. 71 Vande Bharat, Amrit Bharat, Namo Bharat trains have been started, जिसमें से 17 new Vande Bharat trains started. उसमें से एक वंदे भारत मेरे कालाहंडी में स्टार्ट हुई है, जो खरियार रोड से केसिंगा जाती है। 2 स्टेशन को मेरे ही डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जाती है, उड़ीसा में। विकसित भारत का सपना पूरा हो रहा है। वी आर लिविंग इन अ वर्ल्ड वेयर वी आर गोइंग टू सी विकसित भारत, मोदी जी's ड्रीम ऑफ विकसित भारत। 12 करोड़ टॉयलेट्स। मैं उड़ीसा से हूं, जहां पे सच्ची में कभी भी बाहर लोग शौचालय के लिए जाते थे, पर आज वहां पे भी बाथरूम्स हैं जहां लेडीज जाती हैं, उनका ध्यान रखा जा रहा है। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री केवल ऐसे आदमी हैं जिन्होंने चाहे गरीबों हो, महिलाओं हो, किसानों के बारे में, सबके बारे में सोच के ही काम की है, खाली अपने बारे में सोच के, अपने परिवार के बारे में सोच के काम नहीं किया। उड़ान स्कीम जो उड़ीसा में भी है, कालाहंडी में भी है, मेरे केसिंगा में है, उत्कला में है। 1.5 करोड़ पीपल आज उड़ान में घूम पा रहे हैं। जन औषधि केंद्र खुले हैं। नेशनल रूरल लाइवलीहुड मिशन में 91 लाख सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स को एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिली है। नारी शक्ति वंदन अभियान की वजह से आज हम सब महिलाएं यहाँ पे लोकसभा में हैं और हम अपनी बात को आगे रख पा रही हैं। ड्रोन दीदी योजना, जिससे सब लोगों को फायदा हुआ है, चाहे वो ड्रोन दीदी हो, चाहे वो जेट फ्लाइट्स की पायलट्स हो। आज लेडीज वहां से लेके वहां तक पहुंची हैं क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री जी ये चाहते हैं। वो चाहते हैं कि पूरा भारत विकसित बने, पूरे सब क्षेत्र विकसित हो। 10 लाख परमानेंट जॉब्स दिए गए हैं। 1 करोड़ यूथ को हैंड्स ऑन एक्सपीरियंस विथ रियल काइंड ऑफ वर्क एनवायरमेंट्स दिया जा रहा है। 1.5 लाख स्टार्टअप्स किए गए हैं। खेलो इंडिया टारगेट ओलंपिक पोडियम स्कीम, नेशनल स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी, ये कुछ चीजें हैं जो मोदी जी ने की हैं, जिनमें से बहुत सारी हैं जो मैं नहीं बोलूंगी, नहीं तो शायद कोई बोले कि आपकी स्पीच बहुत बोरिंग है। ओवर 10,000 अटल टिंकरिंग लैब्स, रिसर्च फाउंडेशंस, 10,000 करोड़ रुपए हमारी विज्ञान धारा योजना पे खर्चा किया गया है। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, इंडियन AI मिशन के बारे में बात हो रही है। बायो E3 पॉलिसी को किया गया है जो बायो को बूस्ट करती है। 1 नेशन 1 टैक्स GST लाया गया। मेक इन इंडिया, मेड इन इंडिया, आज कई चीजों पे मेड इन इंडिया लिखा जाता है क्योंकि सबने ग्लोबली हमें पहचाना है। वी हैव बीन रिकॉग्नाइज्ड ग्लोबली, which is a very big thing for us today, where we only imported and there was nothing which said made in India, but today we have products which say made in India. The launch of 5G services in India, alongside other leading nations. More than 50% of the world's real-time digital transactions now take place in India. Honorable members, the first deep water mega port at Vadwan, 76,000 crore rupees ka kharcha. 28,000 crore rupees to establish 12 industrial nodes. Metro projects in Delhi, Pune, everywhere. Metro network has now crossed the milestone of 1,000 kilometers. Providing affordable, accessible and quality healthcare to everybody. 1,75,000 Ayushman Arogya Mandirs. Several cancer drugs which have been exempted from customs duty. 9 crore women have been screened for cervical cancer. TB eradication. TB was a big problem in Orissa, especially in Kalahandi. And I am very happy to say that Modi ji जिस हिसाब से TB eradication पे काम अब भारत में हो रहा है, वो पहले कभी नहीं हुआ. In 2023-24, India achieved a record production of 332 million tons of food grain. The minimum support price for Kharif and Rabi has gone up. Rice, wheat, pulses, oil, seeds all have tripled. 109 climate-resilient biofertilized, high-yielding advanced crops have been done. Packaging for ensuring availability of DAP for everyone. Mission Mosam has been launched. My government has undertaken initiatives to preserve tribal heritage. This year, the 150th birth anniversary of Bhagwan Birsa Munda, which was only known in Orissa earlier, is now being celebrated across the country as Janjatiya Gaurav Varsh. ये सब छोटी बातें नहीं हैं, ये बहुत बड़ी बातें हैं जो मोदी जी के कार्यकाल में ही मुमकिन है. After the abrogation of Article 370, Jammu and Kashmir is facing new life today. Elections नहीं हो सकते, ये नहीं हो सकता, वो नहीं हो सकता. आज जम्मू कश्मीर में सब कुछ हो पा रहा है. वो भी मोदी जी का ही सपना था. 1 crore Divyang ID cards have been given. Namaste Yojana has been launched. We are strengthening self-reliance, self-employment by establishing the Defence Industrial Corridor, Atal Tunnel, Sela Tunnel, Sonamang Tunnel. Eliminating left-wing extremism has also begun. Our Bharat is a country of 140 crore people. We have diverse states, diverse regions, diverse languages. Yet as one nation, we have only one identity. We are Bharatiyas, we are Bharatvasis. मैं खाली एक चीज बोलूंगी, आज एलओपी की स्पीच हम सबने सुनी. हम में से कोई नहीं बोलेगा वो बोरिंग थी, क्योंकि वो हमारे लिए एंटरटेनिंग थी. हमने सुना और हमने सुना ही सुना, क्योंकि हमें लगा कि शायद हम चाइना में हैं, इंडिया में नहीं. पर मैं खाली एक ही चीज पूछना चाहूंगी, जब आप चाइना पे इतना रिसर्च करके आ सकते हैं, थोड़ी सी रिसर्च हमारे भारत पे भी कर लेते तो हम सबका भला होता. मैं लास्ट में सिर्फ इतना ही कहना चाहूंगी कि जिस हिसाब से हमारे ऑनरेबल प्रेसिडेंट ने स्पीच दी, सब लोगों ने सुना. पूरा भारत को आज हमारे प्रेसिडेंट ने बताया कि 10 साल में काम कैसे किया जाता है और किसने करके दिखाया है, और वो आगे भी वैसे ही होगा. धन्यवाद. एंड अगेन वी हर्ड द बेस्ट स्पीच फ्रॉम आवर प्रेसिडेंट एंड अ वोट ऑफ थैंक्स टू हर फॉर हर स्पीच. थैंक यू. वी कलानिधि जी.
Madam, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak on the motion of thanks of the President's address, Madam. Madam, we all know it is customary that the President, though it is her address, we know it is not her views, and it is the views of the government which has prepared the speech for her. And so whatever comments or criticisms are made, it can be understood that it is not made against the Honorable President, and it is against the government which has prepared this draft for her. I can't hear you. Anyway, let me continue with this.
Prime Minister.
I'm actually surprised that not many senior ministers are here to listen to what the opposition has to speak about, Madam. This has been the problem, where any time when the opposition members are raising some issues, neither is it answered nor is it reflected upon. Madam, coming to the speech, Madam, the first point that the President had spoken is about the Constitution, the 75th anniversary of adoption of our Constitution. In that, we are talking so much about the Constitution, but it is sad to note the 17th Parliament and the 18th Parliament has not had a Deputy Speaker, Madam.
Yes.
The Deputy Speaker is a constitutionally provided post which has to be filled, and this government has, in the first paragraph itself, they have broken the Constitution, where they have made it a shameful thing that you don't even have a confidence in having even one of your allies from either the TDP or the JDU to be made the Deputy Speaker. So I hope that the government will look into this and make sure that a Deputy Speaker is appointed for the Lok Sabha, Madam. And the next paragraph, what they're talking about, the Mahakumbh. Everybody is talking about the Mahakumbh, which happens once in 144 years. And it is very sad to note that so many deaths have happened. So far, what has been reported is 30 deaths and 60 people injured. But we are suspicious of these news articles, because whenever a major calamity of this extent happens in this country, we expect the ministry, the Home Minister, to come and give a statement in the Parliament of this House to mention what exactly has happened and what measures have been taken for relief and for the support of the people over there, and what safety measures are taken to ensure that it does not happen again in future. I actually am sad that this government has not bothered about, though they claim themselves to be a Hindutva party, they do not care about the people who have died over there. And then the next point they are talking about is housing for all, Madam. When they're talking about housing for all, the government says that the union government is providing funds for the housing for all. But actually, if you look into the amount of money which is being sanctioned, most of the amount which is being sanctioned is from the state governments, Madam. The state governments are the ones which are doing it, and if you note, the amount which is